Doxing, conspiracy theories, accusations of rape, lawsuits, oxycodone addictions. Wow! This is going to be a very interesting tale indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to our newest Scooby, Kimber Kush, CEO of Natural Healthy CBD, The Extra Spoon, and about 7 other DBA companies that will never make money. And if by chance you were making a couple of dollars, I hope I play some small part in that never happening again. If you've ever made a YouTube video, chances are she's involved you in some insane theory about interstate drug trafficking, identity theft, kidnapping, or even sexual assault. Kimber believes she's an accomplished businesswoman who doesn't have to take any shit from you. And not only that, she has magical powers that include psychic abilities, the ability to speak to Medicare over the radios in Grand Theft Auto, the ability to hear special messages in Markiplier Five Nights at Freddy's Let's Plays, and the ability to even become nature herself. She also is the only one on Earth who can speak to the organic algorithm and figure out the massive conspiracy involving everyone she has ever met online. And a bunch of people she hasn't. It is going to be a fun ride. But as always, I like to get to know our Scooby. How does somebody get this insane? And how do you even begin to tell the story of crazy Kimber Kush? Well, I guess much like Scooby, you have to start at the beginning. We have to get into the anatomy of a psycho common household bitch on disability, playing it, faking it till she makes it as a business person and threatening to sue the entire internet. So we'll begin our tale in 2008. Kimber is a fat girl, working at JP Morgan, Chase Bank to be exact, owned by JP Morgan Chase. She claims she was sexually assaulted by a security guard while working there and was underage at the time. Apparently, upon making this dastardly claim of sexual assault, which would not be her last in this series, I assure you, this is roughly one of 14, she claims they fired her wrongfully for no reason at all. Not because they found her claim to have absolutely no merit and she was trying to extort the company. No, they just fired her for no reason because they're real mean. Well, of course, she sought legal counsel and they sued JP Morgan. Good for you, Kimmy. But instead of winning a lawsuit, they settled with her for $38,000, which is a weird number to settle for on a case like this. Almost like they just gave her a year's salary to get rid of her because it was cheaper than paying one of their power lawyers to decimate her in a court case. And let's also keep in mind, to Chase Bank, $38,000 is like 38 cents to us regular people. Probably less. So they paid the bitch off to get rid of her. And Kimber learned 2 lessons she would take with her into the internet world and would serve her well. We'll see these 2 things as running themes with her. 1. Threatening lawsuits is a totally great idea. And 2. Faking sexual assault claims can really pay off. After all, if you question any of her rape stories, because they're, not really adding up, she'll move the goalposts from "is this story true" to "how dare you say rape in front of a trauma victim? You think it's funny? I'm gonna sue you. You're gaslighting me." So Kimber got a little free money. Good for her. We move on now to 2013, where Kimber is roughly 900 pounds heavier. A chunky monkey indeed. Okay, at this point we should start ticking off the annoying bitch checklist items. Low self-esteem fat girl, makes false accusations, and got some free money for lying at a young age. Indeed. Well, Kimber's immense girth was not enough to save her from getting shit hammered on her birthday on March 31st in 2013, as we can see on her Instagram. Aw, that's nice. Someone got a hotel. Oh, and Rita's out on the town. Well, isn't this a nice night out? But remember to get a designated drop. Oh. So on April 1st, the very next day, looks like she had a fun night, and it's gonna be a fun couple weeks in the hospital recovering from it too. So it appears Kimber wasn't in some tragic car accident and victimized by a drunk driver. She was the drunk driver, and you rolled your shitty car on your birthday. As will become a running theme in her life, she does shit to herself and blames everyone else for it. But hey, a lot of us have gotten drunk and rolled a car, but because she was, let's say, a rotund individual, she did some spinal damage and was prescribed these pills, which she promptly put on her Instagram. Oxycodone. Typically, people that aren't bragging about getting fucked up or have any sense at all don't put their prescription information on the internet, but do you, Kimber? Now, it's quite possible she was in some serious pain at the time. But as we will see in this and further installments, Kimber's never really lived by the Larry Flint, "I'm not in pain so I don't need the drugs anymore" philosophy. Side note, She also got this very cringy tattoo on her massive IMAX back. Because as long as your back is fucked up on the inside, why not fuck it up on the outside too? Spoilers, due to her massive drug addiction, she melts into kind of a deformed titty monster later. As you can see here in this photo where she's threatening to smother a bunny. I would be very curious to see what this pockmarked abomination's tattoo looks like today. Probably like the Joker looked into the Ark of the Covenant. You owe that tattoo artist an apology, Kimber. Kimber also found herself a baby daddy and had a kid. Aw, this story could turn around. Oh no, wait, it won't. Because due to her being a junkie, the state removed this child from her care and her husband left her to raise the kid alone. We'll get to that supposed arrest a little later. For now, just know she claims to be a huge victim in all this. According to Kimber, her man stole her medical marijuana card, then called the cops because she had weed all over her house. And when they arrived, they not only arrested her and took her in, but then proceeded to rape her in jail. Because her ex-husband has those connections. And apparently, according to her, his new girlfriend is the sister of one of the members of 21 Pilots, the band. And as we all know, being in a rock band means you have the connections to have your sister's boyfriend's ex raped in a holding cell by the police. Now, this is strange because according to her arrest record, this never happened. Though she does have an outstanding warrant in some county she doesn't live in for not paying a ticket. But who really cares about that shit? No sarcasm there. We've all had a traffic warrant or two. It happens. I've had more failure to appear warrants than times I've actually showed up to pay the ticket. I can't talk shit about that. Nonetheless, not only is it weird she wouldn't just get this dismissed in court and get her son back with no delay if she had a marijuana card and could produce it for the judge, it's weird that her ex-husband tells, well, a different story. And it's even weirder that Kimber thinks it's a good idea to post these emails from her ex on Twitter. Her business Twitter, at CBDHealthy. And keep in mind that through our entire series, you'll hear Kimber accuse literally everyone she talks to online of ruining her business. But it's never occurred to her that maybe the problem is she posts people's names, locations, and personal information so often, every day, that no person in their right mind would trust her with their credit card and shipping address. So let's take a look at her husband's message that she posted and add one more item to the checklist. Lack of self-awareness. From Kimber's Instagram, and there's a copy on her Twitter the same day, May 11th, 2020. Happy Mother's Day. Oh, I forgot you aren't a mother. You're a sorry excuse for a human being. It's funny Mikey is gone now. Guess the drugs were more important. Not like you fed him or took care of him anyway. Always worried about yourself and your make-believe world. Pretty sad your own mother can't even stand you. Rita, poor lady. Now she can't even see her grandson because you're such a screw-up. Wow! A round of applause on behalf of all divorced men. It's not only important to note that not only did Kimber lack the self-awareness to not post this online, but also people know IRL about how she lives in a make-believe world. It will come up later. Now, this little arrow means there was more to that conversation, but Kimber doesn't want you to see what came next, and that's fine. I think we've seen enough already. And I would like to state here that if I were just to judge by the photos on her Instagram, her baby daddy doesn't appear to be lying about this. I'm not going to put them here because I'm not a monster. But she doesn't have one photo of her kid during these years, not just wearing his drawers or a diaper. And this kid is like 4 to 5 years old in these photos. Now, I'm not saying she's into child porn or she's fingering herself to it or nothing like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying she's white trash and doesn't even put clothes on her child before taking photos of him and plastering him on her social media. Because that's all the kid needs. His naked ass childhood photos all over the internet. Thanks, Mom. In my day, your mom busted out an album to embarrass you in front of your girlfriend. I can't imagine having a mom putting my toddler ass on the internet for the whole world to see. And the kid usually looks filthy. But then again, these are Kimber's living conditions.
Thank you for paying attention to changes in people, because that's really important. And when it comes to things like mental health, a lot of people say that it's important to them, but it's not. And they call people things like crazy. And they're normally like not in the shoes of that person. That person's generally above the people shit talking on somebody with a mental illness. Just generally. So it's most of the time a way to excuse their own stupidity. I want that babe, dude. We're gonna babe.
Now hey, I've made mistakes. We all have. And nobody watching this video is the world's best parent. I'm certainly not the world's best dad, but at least I think we can all say we put clothes on our kids' backs and make sure that they bathe. Now, according to Kimber, her man left her because he didn't want to be with a cripple. Add one more. Victim complex. Handicapped. But it sounds to me like he's much saltier about her treatment of their son and the fact that he had to have the court come take the kid from her. And if her environment then was anything like it is now, they probably had to wade through a deep layer of her filth, covered by the mess a child would make in a house, and topped off with a crust of pill bottles and weed resin. Ironically, after this, she started a cleaning company and declared herself Executive Vice President of Handymaid Cleaning Services for Andrews Air Force Base. When she could not only live up to the military standard of cleanliness, not to mention the grooming standard, she realized that online endeavors probably suited her better, and started Azalea Moon Shop LLC. I could not find an Azalea Moon Shop to show you an example of, but I did find an Azalea Moon Boutique, which is a well out-of-date Shopify store drop-shipping a wide selection of 10 outfits to 0 customers. When that failed, Kimber took 2 more online tutorials and decided to go with what she knows: drugs! And since she can't sell drugs online, she did the next best thing. Bought a Big Commerce membership, which is a company that provides websites and drop shipping items to their customers, and created naturalhealthycbd.com. Kimber then realized she only had one problem left: no customers. So instead of buying some Facebook or Google ads, she did something that could never backfire. She created an affiliate system and started pitching it to YouTubers as sponsorship during the first adpocalypse. And this was the beginning of the good times for Kimber. As long as she could balance her oxy addiction with work, this might work out. Oh, and as long as you don't run around claiming people you sponsored sexually assault you and start rumors you're fucking them while they're married. Because if you were to do that, Kimber, I guarantee, with your on the edge of madness mind in this era of your life, the fallout online would break you and send you spiraling down a rabbit hole of continuing this trend of accusing people you've never met of crimes and threatening to sue them, as well as out you as one of the internet's most insane, crazy bitches. And not to mention your little CBD company would immediately cease to be profitable, and you would spend the next few years in a manic, mentally ill mess where you drive down the freeway this fucked up.
Okay, but like, no, seriously, on accident, I accidentally Indiana, and I forgot how to undo that. It's a big truck. The big ones scare me.
Endangering not only your life, but the lives of everyone around you. Amazing mother, everyone. This is definitely a woman that should have a child in that backseat. And that's all the time we have for part 1 of the Kimber Kush Natural Healthy CBD series. And let me tell you, if you thought Scooby was insane, wait until you see what this bitch pulls. Now, she's not as forward as Scooby. She doesn't threaten to kill people, but the sheer volume of psychotic coke babble, where she doxes, accuses YouTubers and her own customers of conspiracy, up to and including gang stalking, is enough to keep us entertained for some time. Next time on the Kimber Kush Saga, the good year, Kimber's only successful plot, and the downfall of her CBD sponsorship plan.
Word.
Hold on. Stop
Podcast.
the show, Tommy. Stop the show. Natural Healthy CBD wants you to tell them how you put her out of business, Tommy.
I told her
Nobody buys from you in the first place.
Exactly. I'll tell you. Because she has a chainsaw mouth. And she basically kind of like jokingly accused one of my closest army buddies of raping her.
Thanks for watching. And please, if you haven't already, like and subscribe for more tales from Kimber's Weird Boobs!